Just honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah. All right, double honors to the apostle, it was great millstone. And shout out to these brothers doing this thing in sincerity and truth and with charity. Let me show them the right channel. Yeah. All right, firstly, Yahweh's name, Heavenly Father. Bahasham is in the name, Ba'in Hadasham name. Yahweh Shai is the unbegotten Son, and Rakah. Quadash means Holy Spirit, literally translated Spirit Holy. Rakah Spirit, Quadash Holy. And we're gonna hop right into it, like the title says. You know, Egyptology / Hamitic theory. Alright. The Lord, I gotta fix the title. Should say the Lord is undefeatable. And let me see what let me edit it. Right here. Yeah, man, the Lord can't be defeated. Like, it's impossible. Alright, and the reason I named it that is because Esau has come with all manner of shit to just hide us from who we are. Alright, to keep our heritage from us. But the Lord has made a way that it's come back to us. Per the prophecies, man. Alright? Esau really hid our heritage, called us everything under the sun but who we are. Even tried to make it so we're not a people at all. And here we are, 2023, all right, live, telling the world that we're the Israelites. And proving and showing the world we're the Israelites, man. Proving with the scriptures, prophecies. All right, and then even using Esau shit where he's fucked up and he's tripping over his own tongue. That's how raw the Lord is. All right. In fact, let me grab this. You got something you can get a lot grab there.
This is Isaiah 19:1. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved in his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards, and the Egyptians. Right. All right, and hey, and this is where we're at, man. This place is spiritual Egypt, right? Where we have Pharaoh, ruling over us. Right, and these are the things that are about to happen, man. The spirit of Egypt we're seeing is failing, man. The councils are failing, the ways are failing. Right, when you look at these the royal crown and stuff, that's all that they're into, man. They build pyramids for each other, they build obelisks for each other. Right, that spirit of Egypt is heavy, and you got a lot of our people who got caught up into that. You look at these different gangs, you look at these different organizations, everything got a pyramid. Oh, we link back to Egypt. Hey man, Egypt is not the way. Right? Egypt is destroyed. The people there now aren't even the original people who were there.
Since you're right there, it's Isaiah 44:24. Thus saith Yahweh thy Redeemer, he that formed thee from the womb. I am Yahweh that maketh all things, that stretcheth forth the heavens alone, that spreadeth abroad the earth by myself, that frustrateth the tokens of liars, and maketh diviners mad, that turneth wise men backward, and maketh their knowledge foolish. And that's, like I said, the counsel of the Egyptians shall fail. That's talking about modern Egypt, which is America. But why is this place called modern Egypt? Well, for one, this is what we was put in slavery at. It's that hard bondage. But then also, like the brother said, Esau was fascinated with Egypt. All right? And what did they do? They named cities after the places of Egypt. That's why you got Memphis. All right? They built obelisk like Egypt, They followed the same pattern of Egypt. They follow Egyptian gods. All right? This is the new Egypt, man. But the Lord said their counsel will fail. Their knowledge is foolish. And everything Esau has done is now falling upon them, man. Now the truth is out, right? Let's keep going. that confirmeth the word of his servant, and performeth the counsel of his messengers, that said to Jerusalem, thou shalt be inhabited, and to the cities of Judah, ye shall be built, and I will raise up the decayed places thereof. That said to the deep, be dry, and I will dry up thy rivers. So the Lord is waking us up to the truth, man. The prophecies that the Lord sent out wasn't going to return to him void. So, like it says in Isaiah, for a small moment he hid himself. All right, but now the Lord is returning to us with everlasting kindness. So everything Esau done did is come to naught. And hell, not only is it come to naught because we have this truth, but it's actually backfired against him, because now we can use these things to cut his ass. Which through the Spirit, I got an article. Really, it's 2 articles, but I'm going to jump around in one more than the other. But it just shows you how powerful the Lord is, man. Just like the Lord did with Joseph. What was perceived to be for evil was for our good. Same thing right here. What did it say? That turns wise men backward. they shit backfiring on their ass, man. You got something? Okay.
Yep, this is 2nd Ezra 15. Real quick, it says, in 10, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. All right, and this is what you see time to time through the scriptures, man. Egypt was already fucked up. But like you said, I will smite Egypt with plagues as before. All right, so we're coming to that time where, hey, this is Egypt, but guess what? Y'all ain't the Egyptians, because if you are, you about to get fucked up. All right, the plagues is coming, destruction is coming. All right, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting of hail and with fearful constellation. Woe to the world and to them that dwell therein. So it's a bad time to be an Egyptian.
Mm-hmm. And that goes to the Revelation 11:8, you know. This mystery Babylon is spiritual Egypt. All right? This is spiritual Egypt. And it's the same example with the first Egypt. Hey, what Revelation 9 tells us, comparing Esau Edom to Pharaoh. All right, so Esau Edom has been raised up to receive a great destruction, so the Lord can get a name for himself. All right, but that Egyptian shit ain't got nothing to do with us, Jake. You know, when we say Jake, we're talking about you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. That's y'all still hold on to the sins of your youth. All right, but this shit finna go down, man. It's a wrap. We're not Hamites, we're not Egyptian. And the scriptures tell us that we finna go through some Esau articles to prove that, man. You niggas calling yourself Egyptians and Egyptologists, all right, you're following after Edomite doctrine.
That's right.
All right? Because this is modern Egypt, and they fascinated with that shit.
Yeah.
The witchcraft of Egypt, man.
Yeah. Like the Black Panther, they got him on there doing the Pharaoh pose and shit.
Yep.
But what happened to him? Was the Lord killed his ass.
God. So, I'm read this Sirach first. This is Sirach 20, where'd it go? Sirach 27:9. The birds will resort unto their like, so will truth return unto them that practice in her. And so this truth is it's back. Hey, the way of truth was hidden, but now it's back, man. The Lord allowed us to go to sleep for a moment, but now he's waking us up. That Ezekiel 37. I just put his spirit on us. That's how you know what at the end. And that's like the next verse in that Revelation. I might as well get it. It's Revelation 11:8. And their dead bodies shall line the street of that great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. And what place would that be, man? All right, the place that it said we're going to Egypt again on ships. So the place that we were taken to, the Israelites, via slave ships. Well, where is that? So this is spiritual Sodom. This is spiritual Egypt. What's these different countries in the world pissed off about right now? Esau trying to, America specifically, trying to push that LGBTQ agenda on these different countries. This is spiritual Sodom and Egypt, right? So this is why dead bodies was, but not literal dead. It says he that is out of the congregation, he that turned from the truth will remain in the congregation of the dead. We lost our heritage. Jeremiah 17:4 happened unto us. We forgot who we were, and we forgot what did we become. We called ourselves Egyptians. We called ourselves Africans, the whole damn continent. We called ourselves a damn Crayola color black. All right? We were dead. But as Ezekiel 37 said, the Lord was going to raise us up. Let me keep going. Where also our Lord was crucified. They hid the image of our power. Put him as a pale-faced devil. All right? And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half. And shall not suffer their dead bodies put in the graves. And that'll be about 350 years. We were just out here lost. But then, in the 60s, what happened? The Lord rose up Elijah out of Memphis and started preaching the truth. And now we're here, fast forward, the men of the Lord are waking up, man. Right? And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth, the northern and southern kingdom. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, same as Ezekiel 37. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. So now the men of the Lord are waking up again. We're returned. Hey, what did the Lord tell Peter? When thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. So now we're returning to our heritage. That's the word convert means. We're returning to the Lord. That spirit is being pushed out there. So now we see the truth. We see Esau fucking lies. And now we expose this devil even with his own shit. Because the prophecies say, this is Psalm 68, Psalm 64, Salaki. This is Psalm 64 and 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them, Salaki, all that see them shall flee away. So the shit that Esau was set up is it's backfiring on him, man. It's failing him. He's telling on himself with the shit now. Fucking goofy. All right. You have something like this article? You can get it if you know.
You read Proverbs 21:16.
I ain't read Proverbs, though.
Okay, God, this is Proverbs 21:16. It says, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. When you look into Egyptology, when you really study it and get into it, that's what they're obsessed with, death. They believe after death, you take, a certain amount of money with you, you're buried with this, you're buried with that. A lot of them pharaohs, they even buried themselves with their favorite servants or their favorite pet. In belief that in the afterlife, you get to take them with you, for them to serve you forever. And take your money, take your gold, you need this to pay the toll and all this shit. All right, foolishness. Right? And what are we doing? You go to any museum in any major city, you're gonna see a grave that they laid out, with them embalmed in gold and precious oils and all this stuff for nothing. Right, for nothing. That's exactly what's gonna happen to this place, man. They say they're gonna cast that silver and that gold into the streets. It's gonna be for nothing. Right? You can't take nothing with you after you die. Right? And the ways of the dead, that's not what we're supposed to be into, man. It said that's exactly what's gonna happen. This is a quickening spirit that we're given. Okay, the ways of life.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ways that we're into.
They said the Most High is the God of the living.
The God of the living, the quick and the dead.
Mm-hmm.
God. Which the quick and the dead, that's talking about those who know they're Israelites and those who don't know. But that's the way, man. This is the way of life.
Mm-hmm. So this, there's more?
No, that was.
So this article is from AfricaBib.org, and it says the Hamitic hypothesis its origin and functions in time perspective. And I really only want to hit one quote from here right now, which is, again, Esau fall on his tongue. In fact, it says the image of the Negro deteriorated in direct proportion of the growth of the importance of slavery. And it became imperative for the white man to exclude the Negro from the brotherhood of races. So this is heavy because this is Esau telling you why they did the shit they did. Can you get Psalms 83? Sure. They wanted to make sure we didn't have a race, that we couldn't attach ourselves to anything. All right? Man, so we just be fucking lost, grasping at straws, man.
I had a teacher who did that. This is Psalms 83:1. Keep not thou silence, O power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Mm-hmm. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
So that crafty counsel means they thought about this shit and put together great labors, all right, great counsel, great wisdom on the left-hand side to come with this deceit, man. They thought about this shit. They probably had a think tank, brainstorm. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. We can do it like this. Oh, well, let's change that. See how that goes, right? And it changed over time because is it this article? I was looking at a few of these things, man. But one of these sources touching on Hamitic theory. In fact, here we go. The Hamitic hypothesis states that everything of value ever found in Africa was brought there by the Hamites, allegedly a branch of the Caucasian race. So here they're trying to claim that they're the Hamites, all right, which is crazy. But then it says this hypothesis was preceded by an earlier theory in the 16th century, so the 1500s, that the Hamites were black savages, natural slaves, and Negroes. This view, which persisted through the 18th century, 1700s, served as a rationale for slavery. So this right here alone cuts the fact, if they even just left the fact that they was calling us Hamites and Canaanites out there, right? The fact that they said that this didn't exist to the 16th century proves we're not the Israelites, man. Proves we're not the Hamites, that we're the Israelites. It proves that we're the Israelites, not the Hamites. All right? A man slipping his speech, not in his heart. We ain't no damn Hamites. All right? It proves it. It said this didn't exist to the 16th century. And that was their rationale for enslaving us. So this lets you know we're not fucking Canaanites. That we're not Africans, man. Then the 18th century came and they said, you know what? Esau started calling himself the fucking Hamites. Because they saw the different wisdom that came through Egypt. Which, going back to arithmetic and shit, hey, we know Abraham brought arithmetic to Egypt. All right, we know Joseph is what made Egypt great.
That's right.
All right, Josephus wrote about one, and the Bible writes about the other.
What is it? Imhotep.
Right, that's supposedly Joseph.
Right. I think it's Imhotep II. Supposedly it's Joseph.
Supposedly. Either way, we know for sure Joseph brought this information to him because the scriptures tell us. Esau wanted credit for that. So he scrapped his first theory. He forgot he already took crafty counsel. Came with another crafty counsel just to shoot himself in the foot. Then came with this to say these things and just told us plainly twice that we're not the fucking Hamites. Told us twice we're not the fucking Hamites. And then it tells us the reason they did this, all right, because it was imperative for the white man to exclude the Negro from the brotherhood of races. Mm-hmm. They had to keep us from them. Because at the end of the day, to say that Ham is a dark-skinned man, then you got to say, well, what about his father?
Right.
So it's no account of so-called white people having black children, but there are accounts of black families having white children. We have the account of similar Jacob and Esau thing happening in modern times. Twins born, one dark, one red. We've had that happen in this modern time in recorded history in the present time, man.
Albino.
Yeah, that's another one. But not even just albino. I mean, she look like a regular Edomite looking baby.
Yeah.
You know, albinos, they all weird, eyelids, no Latin hair. Not even just that. That is a great point, though. Not take away from that. Because Esau also had albinoism as leprosy. Esau got the old leprosy.
Vitiligo.
That's the same thing.
This form of leprosy.
Yeah, so we've seen that. We got records of that. But where's the reverse vitiligo at? Like Uncle Ruckus tried to say. He was a white man for it ain't happened.
Like the Mormons trying to say.
Right. Where's that at, and where's that at? See, the scriptures is plain and proven. You can see these things. So to say that Ham is black, we gotta say, well, damn, well, what about his father? What about his brother? Now you gotta prove when did black people come into existence in the timeline. See, we can prove when Esau popped up. We can prove when the red man popped up on Earth, but can you prove when the rest of the world became melanated? Because only one race ain't melanated, man. All other races got melanin. So when did it change that the majority became melanated? Well, it started off like that. Esau was the anomaly. Esau was the weird one. Esau is the people of the Lord's curse. The so-called white man, self-proclaimed white man, who was really red, who was really translucent, and we see that the red in his blood. All right, so you got it.
That wasted away his heat. This is 1 Peter 2:10, which in time past were not a people. I gotta start at verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light, which in time past were not a people, but now the people of the Most High, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. And that's what they're hateful of. That's what they're jealous of, man. Because we're reconnected with our power. All right, what's that? Judith, we always bring out. If these people, connected with their power, there's nothing we could do against them. Right? That's why during the Roman Empire, they were so heavily, after time of the Greeks and the Romans, they tried to manipulate that high priest position so often. Right? Then they put through, what's his name? Who seeked after the Lord before he was born. But they put him in power. Right? They put them in that priesthood. They married into the line of the Maccabees for them to try to say that they were part of
Herod. King Herod, right? Who are you talking about?
Right. The Herodian dynasty.
Yeah.
Right. They married into a woman from the line of the Maccabees for them to try to throw themselves in there and try to throw the priesthood off. Right? This man has always known who we were. You look at a lot of old Hollywood movies, shit, they'll tell you in the movie. Oh, the Israelites, they'll throw that right in the movie. Right?
Yeah.
Why do they keep throwing this in here?
TV shows, movies.
Yeah.
Yep. They done made it clear in the movies, they made it clear Gad to Israelites, the Native Americans, all right? They made it clear that so-called Negroes are Israelites, they put it right there in your face.
Right. On the new Black Panther 2, the damn, it was fine, but the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom, they was fighting. They was like, oh, the ancient tongue of the fathers? They was speaking in the same language during the battle. Like, they keep putting it right in your face, and then they keep telling on themselves.
Yeah. And now I'm going to stop. They was on the slave ship. The two little girls were playing a little hand game and speaking Hebrew. Now in the movie, of course, it wasn't the Paleo Hebrew, but it was Hebrew nonetheless. What they would call Hebrew today. Them showing that we're the Israelites. They tell you this.
Right.
Hey, you can go back to that Psalm 83.
Yep, Psalms 83 and 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So when did this happen to the small hatters over there? All right, they don't fit the prophecy, but clearly it happened to us. What other people lost their heritage? Who other people was whenever in history was there another nation of people that was meant to be excluded from the brotherhood of races, as it put it?
Right, because they got the records. They could trace their records back to Adam, the small hats.
Right, let them tell it, which is bullshit.
in the hidden document.
Right, let them tell it. That's madness, man. All right, but hey, the Lord, you can get Psalm 2.
Yep,
start at 1.
Yep, this is Psalms 2 and 1. It said, why did the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
Let them not have any part of the brotherhood of races. They ain't nobody. They nothing. They just they're not a people. Let's change it up. All you African, all you Negro, all you just whatever we tell you are. They did it all, so we don't know that we the Israelites. But you can't stop the Lord. And keep going.
He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure.
Right, so your end is coming, man. All right, but the point is, the Lord laughed at your ass. This was all the Lord's plan. You thought you could change what the Lord has already set up? He told us what's going to fall away. He told us that in the place that it'll be, get the Hosea 1 to 10. This is all prophecy, man, and now we know. And we can use your own shit to prove it. That's how law our power is.
Yep, this is Hosea 1 and 9. I'm starting verse 9. Then said the Most High, call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power.
So it's going to be a time and place where the Israelites was going to, like you said, they should dwell for a time and a period without a king, without an ephod. All right? But then the same place where it was told we're not the children of Israel, we would come to realize we are. And that's here. And that's happening now. Now we know who we are, man. All right? Now we know we ain't no fucking Africans, man. And it's obvious. Regular Jakes even know we the Israelites now. They not even believing or forsaking the world. They just know we the Israelites. A regular GD ass nigga right now on some BD on 63rd, even though we the Israelites, man.
Man.
All right? Yeah. Because the truth is flourishing, man. As it says in 2 Ezra 6. All right? Your time is up, Esau. And if anybody that's still into Egyptology, you just a sad case, man. The father of Egyptology is the so-called white man, James Francis Champollion. And this article, this was from the Washington Post, ties right into that, right? Because this was, when I found this, I was looking into the Hamitic theory still, man. And how did I get to this? Salakia. Right. I ended up looking into Napoleon because we look into the Hamitic theory. That's what opened the floodgates to Esau really wanted to look into Egypt more, because they found those artifacts, and of course the Greeks ruled there and had the shit stored up. That's why you had a library at Alexandria. All right, Esau always been about this diligent searching and all that, man. He was wiser than Daniel. So I want to wish I had the one. It was a specific part I wanted here. But while I looked it, I'm gonna read this first, then I'm gonna give it to you while you get the scriptures. So it says, okay, yeah. Unfitted by ages of tropical life for any effective I'll name the article as The Black Roofs of Egypt's Glory. An article goes the fuck off. But it got some good points in here. You know? Because, you know, when they saying black, they talking about all dark people, man, and they want to toss us in that with them. That don't work. Unfitted by ages of tropical life for any effective intrusion, the white race, the Negro and Negro people remain without any influence on the development of civilization. So they want to make sure we just out there. You know, we did nothing. We never existed in history as anything pivotal in society. Those words, 1926, by James Henry Breasted, Dean of American Egyptologists, echoes the dominant sentiment of the time that Black Africa had no share in the creation of any of the first civilizations of man. But it called him an American Egyptologist. I get it through your head. When you holding on to Egyptology, you're holding on to the sins of youth. I believe that Ezekiel 23 calls it, man. Get that shit out your fucking head. A human with an alligator head, something with a human body with an alligator head. All right, it's not the God. All right. Otherwise, hey, Egypt been ran through so many times, man. The original Egyptians still ain't got their shit back. And who did that? The Lord did it. Well, y'all ain't either. Well, we know why though. The Lord put us here. That's why in Ezekiel says, then shall the heathen know that the Lord put us in captivity because we sinned against him. That's the difference. We understand why, man. This message was so powerful in social nations that as recently as May 31st, Dr. Elwa Bleiberg, assistant director of the Institute of Egyptian Art and Archaeology at Memphis State University, stated categorically in the Memphis Commercial Appeal that Egyptians were considered Caucasians. This then is the crux of controversy that has flared up repeatedly throughout the 155-year existence of Egyptology. So you niggas call yourselves Egyptologists are following after a white man's doctrine. Oh, yeah. And you're just putting a black spin on it, man. You're trying to grasp to some form which you think is great. Which only thing that made Egypt great was when we was there. All right, and the Lord put it on Joseph's spirit to have a plan to save the rest of those lands around them from the famine. And that got Egypt to the status that you know of, man. And then after that, what happened? They got destroyed by the same power that had raised them up. Because the heart is in the hand of the king. The Lord ruleth in the kingdom of men. This is the book right here, man, the scriptures. And what it say? Bring your strong reasons. Let them tell you what's to come, what's to pass. Let them do good or evil. These are the doctrines, religions, gods. They ain't got no prophecies. Their gods are fucking are non-existent, man. They don't do a goddamn thing.
No, they don't. Because Jacob, hold on to that. Well, you know, Cleopatra was black, and then this person was black. Well, shit, when you mention her and all these different other Edomites who took over Egypt in Daniel 11, if you look at their lineage, you can see which of those four generals they go back to, right? Whether it be Ptolemy, whether it be, which I believe Ptolemy had control over Egypt after Alexander died. That was one of the things that Alexander, but you could trace him back to Esau. You could trace him back to Haman. One of the things he did, he crowned himself as Pharaoh. All right? And then he took on their customs, man. A lot of the calendar, you know, when you look at the Julian calendar or whatever, they put a lot of their customs along with what the Egyptians' customs were. Right? They put they followed after the ways of the Egyptians, basically. Right? When you look at Cleopatra, whoever, which she's not even important, yeah, she comes from the line of Ptolemy, right? Those are all Edomites. Esau had control over Egypt. Did you have Alexandrian Jews? Did you have Jake in Egypt as well? Yes. Shit, the Lord himself, him and his family fled to Egypt for a time. I think that's in Matthew 2. Right? You've had different people in different communities all over Egypt. Shit, Israel is not far from Egypt. That's a place where Jake will go. It's a delta. You know, it's plentiful. It's bountiful. But this is Genesis 50 and 25. And Joseph took an oath to the children, matter of fact, in 24, excuse me. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I die, and the Most High will surely, and this is somebody who was rich in Egypt. All right, let's see what happens. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I die, and the Most High will surely visit you and bring you out of this land unto the land which he sware unto Abraham, Isaac, and to Jacob. And Joseph took an oath to the children of Israel, saying, the Most High will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones from hence. So Joseph died being 110 years old, and they embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt. And when you read further, basically they followed the oath that he made, and they took his bones from Egypt. Right? He probably had a royal tomb and all this stuff. But they took him from Egypt. So I want to be in this heathen ass land. I want to be in that place of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, that's the place that they shooting missiles at to take over. That's the place that they trying their damnness to break in and get, even though it's not any of their land over there. All right, nobody fighting for no damn Egypt in the middle. So nobody fighting for that land. All right, that place is cursed, man. A couple of dry ass pyramids, a couple of Ishmaelites smoking cigarettes on camels. I take you over there, but nobody give a fuck about no damn Egypt. All right, but again, Esau used that stuff to try to forward themselves and to lower you jakes, man. This is Micah 2 and 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence and houses, and they take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And that's what they do. Like all of the evidence and stuff that shows you where Jake, guess what? A lot of that stuff, they destroyed it. But the Lord still brought some of it out. But a lot of the stuff, they destroyed it. They painted over it. You know, whatever they found. Even though we got that picture, I remember Elliot Wright had on his website, where the Pharaoh had those 3 men in his hand, and you can clearly see those are different men of different shades of brown. You can clearly see the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Right, so yeah, there was a difference. There's always been a difference. Right, therefore, thus said the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. Right, but the point is, man, they oppress a man and his heritage. Okay, you can't be anything. Hey, we got all kind of worldwide history. Right, Putin just recently came out, and he's posing with different pictures of these different black saints and all this stuff that they got. All right, these Edomites, the top level ones at least, not Joe Cracker, they know exactly who you jakes are. Right? That's why Harry Rosenberg, he'll go to Sodnetta TV and debate with them. He's like, and then he'll make a statement after he gets done debating with Polite or whoever. Well, yeah, some of them, some of the Jews were lost into Africa. No, man, we're the people.
You have another part? It's so much in this thing. I'm gonna try to bounce around and sum it up because it goes off, but it shows that I'm gonna just read through it. So you can grab there's nothing here that should not come to the light. So I want to read this part. As the 19th century wore on, much of the philology, philology. Let me look at this up. This is on the for a loop. Study of languages. Okay. Philology. All right. Of ancient Egyptians shipped to Germany, whose scholars applied their meticulous methods of research to the study of ancient Egyptian language, finding many similarities in words and syntax between Egyptian and the Semitic languages. The Germans unhesitatingly proclaimed Egyptians to belong to this group. As a result, their leading Egyptologists, so the German motherfucker, the German Edomite man, Egyptologist, Eber Erman Brunch concluded that the impetus for Egyptian civilization itself came from a Western Asiatic or Semitic source. See, that's what Esau throw his trickery in, because now he's trying to say the Semitic thing is Edomites. But when you keep going, it's going to describe them as this brown, reddish brown people, which brown is reddish already, right? But I'm going to keep going. Like others, they saw the human figures on the Egyptian monuments, many colored a reddish brown. Evidence of a non-African, they put in quotes, Mediterranean race. So they're talking about another brown people. A non-African people that but not brown. I mean, a non-African brown people. Right? But then they say, anthropologically speaking, no such race ever existed. They cast us off. They want to take us from the brotherhood of races. But that did not trouble them overmuch, and the term has remained in vogue to this day. Because they wanted to place that term Mediterranean on it, right? By the early 20th century, they examined many Egyptian skeletons and using their own chronometric criteria for racial classifications, have proceeded to categorize the Egyptian skull samples. 24% of pre-dynastic skulls and 25% of the dynastic skulls in their sample as Negroid. The eminent author Keith challenged their parameters because using them to classify a modern English sample of skulls would place fully 30% in the Negroid category. Nothing daunted, Falkenberger, using his own parameters, classified pre-dynastic skulls as 36% Negroid, 33% Mediterranean, 11% Cro-Magnoid, 20% mixed. All right? So they see this, for one, Egypt had Israelites there at one point, and they trying to figure out this lost Mediterranean people who has this brown look. Well, it's us. They did extensive research into Sudan, Ethiopia. Encountering cultural practices, religious ideas, and languages which show clear and identifiable linkages to ancient Egypt. It became clear to Bush that everything about ancient Egypt could be understood only by reference to Africa. So they figured out they not fucking Edomites. That y'all took over as the Greeks. When you read the article, y'all took over as the Greeks. Civilization did not start with you. All right? You come take over somebody's shit and you claim it for yourself. And they mention this in this article. Reversing a 100-year-old trend, in his own early opinion, classified Egyptian as an African rather than a Semitic language. The true reversal of the tide, however, came from outside the circles of European scholarship from the 20th century second decade. On few obscure black scholars in America began to challenge the Africanizing impulse in Egyptian hieroglyph. I'm reading too fast. Historiography. Among these were the journalist J. Rogers, which we know about, right?
Nature knows no color.
William Leo Hansenberg, Willis N. Huggins, John G. Jackson, and no less than W.E.B. Du Bois. But the man who did more than any other to restore Egypt to her place in African history was from the other side of the Atlantic, out of the south. The late Cheikh Anta Diop was a Senegalese scholar who first went to Paris in 1946 to become a physicist. So these are Israelites, but they're doing this research still with Esau's narrative in mind.
Right.
All right, so they still make it about being us even coming from Africa. All right, which they not putting two and two together. No, we're that lost people that they can't figure out where it belongs to. So like, let me jump down. Right, the first line of evidence. So look at all this they say. The first line of evidence in favor of African origin of Egyptian civilization comes from the Egyptians themselves. They called their land Kemet, i.e. the black land, and their own land and their own name for themselves was Kemiu, which translate literally as the blacks. There were, and you can type in Psalms. I'll grab it actually. I got it. This is Psalms 105 and verse 23. Israel also came into Egypt, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham. So this confirms what this dude is saying. What they called themselves the land of Ham. And that word for Ham is not Ham, it's Ham. And you know, Jacob is Kim. They say Kim or Kam. All right, but it means hot, not black. It means hot. Okay? But nevertheless, that's where the word comes from, Kim, like they said. All right? Then it says, jumping down. Oh, what the hell? Okay, yeah. So now I'm going to jump down now. Moreover, whenever Egyptian and scriptures refer to Egyptian origins, the land of Punt, present-day Somalia and northern Kenya, is pointed to as the ancestral homeland. That's not it. It was, here we go. Additional evidence of Egypt's origins comes from the genealogy of Noah in Genesis. Noah's three sons are Ham, Ham. That's why they call them, Egyptologists call themselves Hamitic. That's from the Bible, man. Shem and Japheth, the ancestors of three main branches of humankind known to the biblical writers. Ham isn't, now they go off right here, but what they're saying is dark skin. Ham is indubitably the ancestors of the black race, but they're talking about Africans. His names come from the Egyptian, because we already proven that. They already separated us from Hamites. They knew we're not the same. They called us Ham so they can justify us being in slavery. Then they wanted to beat Hamites because they realized how advanced Egypt actually was at one point in time. You know? His name comes from the Egyptian Cam, meaning black. No. Y'all get it from what the Hebrew is. His sons are Mizraim, Egypt, Cush, Ethiopia, Canaan, Palestine, and Foot, which is Punt or East Africa. And this ain't talking about the Palestinians that are there now, man. All right, that word goes back to Philistine. That's the same word. But the originals are not there. That's some tall motherfuckers in Africa, man. The giants. Though allegorical on one level, how can you still say it's allegory when you say it's history? The Old Testament writers were accurately reflecting known ethnic relations of antiquity by placing the Egyptians in the black. Then it says or African branch of humanity. Finally, unequivocal statements on the subject come from the Greek writers of antiquity. Herodotus, an eyewitness, makes the most definitive statement. He compares the Egyptians by virtue of their black skin and woolly hair. Can you grab United the Ethiopians up to me? He compares the Egyptians by the virtue of their black skin and woolly hair to the Colchians and Ethiopians. There are nearly a dozen other surviving references in Greek literature to the race and color of the Egyptians from writers as diverse as Aeschylus, Aristotle, and Strabo. And they unanimously confirmed the remarks of Herodotus. The fact that the Egyptians were dark and African was so completely self-evident to the ancient Greeks that it was commonplace, seldom worthy of special notice. You know what else? It's seldom mentioned about the skin color? The Bible. You know why? Because the whole world was melanated.
That's right.
It was noted when Esau came out red, like this came out red all over. When Miriam lost her complexion, it said she was as one that was half dead. She hit with leprosy. Became white as snow. How can a white motherfucker turn white? So this is a common thing in history itself. It wasn't mentioned about all the dark color, this and that. That don't come up until you come to now, whereas Esau want to make it all whiteness. No, because you're the strange one. You got it?
Yep, this is Amos 9:7. Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, saith the Lord? Have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt, and the Philistines from Caphtor, and the Syrians from Kir?
Right. Which ultimately the Lord, he deal with all nations. So if a nation get taken down or lifted up, the Lord does that as he deals with us. But the scripture is manifold. We even have similar features to the Ethiopians. I mean, in dark skin, full lips. And you can spot the difference because the Ethiopians, they look weird, but you can spot the difference physically. Yeah. But we have similar features, man. And Ethiopians are of the few Hamites, because the other Hamites, they just go really dark. Ethiopians are of the lightest, on the lighter side of those Africans, man. And we range from light to dark as Israelites, man. But it lets you know right there, are you not as the Ethiopians, man? And then it says, Diop was the first to challenge the old description of ancient Egyptians as dark red or Mediterranean race. Remember we read that above about this dark brownish red people. They called them Mediterranean. Then it says, Diop pointed out many people, and keep in mind that ancient world Kemet ain't talking about modern day Africa. Canaan, the land of Canaan, is the land of Israel. That was our land. We took them out of there. They was in our shit. It was theirs first after the flood.
That's right.
So you think of the land of Kemet, you got it Northeast Africa, Palestine, Israel. Hamites was there. All right?
Precept.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Ezekiel 16:3. And say, thus saith the Lord, power unto Jerusalem, thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan.
Ooh, damn.
Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother a Hittite.
Which is going to the land. Well, Abraham was amongst the Amorites. Shalom, brother. Just let me know you hear I'm in the lesson, brother. Shalom. You good. Shalom. Right, Abraham was an Amorite. He got that cave of Mamre. He got the cave for his burial from the one guy. That's where he was dwelling amongst the Amorites. All right? But those are Africans. Abraham himself ain't African. He dwelt amongst them, though. And he didn't stand there like a sore thumb or nothing. He's dark skinned. All the world looks like that. Even these Indians, man, they dark skinned. Yep. Dark Chinese motherfuckers. Esau done whitewashed everything, so you on TV, you see the what they call the fairer complex people, man.
Yeah. Like cake soap.
Mm-hmm. Man, hit that over. That was right on time.
Man, hey, Ezekiel 16:3. And say, thus saith the Lord, power unto Jerusalem, thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother a Hittite. Right, so that was our land. All right, the Hamitic people had our land. Well, we took it from them, We took it from them. Yeah, the Lord told us to.
Facts. All right, and they went their own way. But the point is, we have that similar look. All right. So that's that Mediterranean race, as they put it. That's that dark brown. As fact, as Diop pointed out, many peoples throughout Africa. Remember, we ain't talking about modern Africa necessarily. It's Northeast Africa, but then what they call the Middle East now, Hamites were there. All right. Diop pointed out many peoples throughout Africa have a reddish brown complexion, including the modern day Messiah of Kenya. It's not the Kenya not the Ethiopians. Are you not as Ethiopians unto me? So Jake get lost because they still on this Esau side of the narrative and trying, oh, we Egypt. No. You got to put the two and two together. If Ham is dark skinned, Noah is dark skinned. So it ain't just about being dark skinned. It's about the races. So now you can, okay, well, we know who Mizraim is. We know who Cush is. Now it's the process of elimination. They can tell you who Cush is. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Kenya is Cush. Okay, I'm just making sure. So you can tell that you can tell. Yeah, the Philistines, you know who they are. All right, the South Sudan. All right, you can figure these things out. So then, who's left off this list? You can tell. Okay, you got the Arabians, so you got Ishmael. Then you got the mixed people, because Arabian means mixed. So you got Ishmael. You got Midianites. All right, we know who Elam is because they just changed their shit over not too long ago as far as Iran. All right, call them not Persians anymore, but you know the Persians are Elam. All right, then you got the two twins, the two sisters that had sex with their fathers. So their son's gonna come out looking a little weird. All right, the epileptic foe with the eyes. All right, so who's left on the list? Well, we know Japheth got the islands, and when you look at the original Tasmanians and all them, even Hawaiians, dark complex, melanin. So it's like, well, who's left? Well, you got these red motherfuckers, and you got another group of dark people who has no nationality. So we know the red is Esau. Then you know these other darks who have no heritage, they fall into Jeremiah 17:4. Yep. It's all right here.
This is it.
And Esau tells us that with the Hamitic theory. We only called the Canaanites in the 1600s because we needed to have a justifiable reasons to enslave you. Yeah. And then after that, look, these are the Hamites, the Egyptians, etc., not the Negroes, so not you. And then fast forward, you got these dudes breaking it down as it's people left out. They can't identify. Well, that's us. We the Israelites, man. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I want to hit this point too. Diop and Obinga show beyond all doubt what Budge had affirmed nearly 50 years earlier, that Egyptian was fundamentally an African language, facts, but the Semitic elements of the language come from late borrowings. All right? So, of course, there are some Semitic languages in their language because they come from Noah. And then you got Joseph and Abraham coming to deal with the Egyptians. So they picked up on that, man. They borrowed some words from them because they were taught that by the two men that advanced them to be a civilization, essentially, man, that's known. Abraham and Joseph. Yeah, that was the internet.
It's no getting around it. It's no getting around it. Everybody who comes online and brings out their information. This is Luke 8 and 17, man. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. Right? Whatever historian tried to piece things together and check Anthony Diop and Rudolph Windsor, or we use some of their resources because they bring out certain good information. All right, Tariq Nasheed, they did they bring out stuff too. They piece stuff together, which recently he said, oh, the blacks and the Native Americans, the reason they were able to speak when Columbus came is because they had prior contact. Yeah, we've been telling you that. Right? It lines up with the Bible. Right? Everybody, when they piece information together, is going to ultimately line up with the scriptures.
And they shit.
True information. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, and that's the point. No, that's the point because that's what I was gonna say is they shit is only so accurate.
Right.
The most accurate historical book of reference is right here, and it's the Bible, because it pieces it all together. And that just proves that the scriptures is what's true, because you got this historian and this historian. They agree on 60% of things, but they have this huge debate and disconnect. And it's like, well, why is that? Why is that? Well, because it ain't the scriptures. That's the part they can't get. It's like we read in that one little article. You got these different historians with these contradictions with each other. Well, the piece they missing is what we telling you. And it's simple. I'm gonna grab this precept in Isaiah. This Isaiah, chapter. Oh no, that's why I put the wrong word. I thought it was 43. Salaki. We got something hidden.
Hey, this is 2nd Ezra 6 and 27, man. This is what's going on. It says, for evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. And this is the Elder Malcolm posted this, by the way.
That's fair.
It said, as for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which had been so long without fruit, shall be declared. All these theories, all of this stuff where they try to make themselves the beginning of civilization and then rewrite this and then write us into history, then write us back out and then write themselves back in. Look, man, the truth is flourishing.
Hey, and it's another thing how you know that there's a piece of history that Esau don't tell you about, and that's with this Renaissance, right? So we know the word Renaissance means rebirth. But this check this out. For Diop and those who have followed him, the study of Egypt's place in African history is fundamental to the African Renaissance he envisaged, much the way the rediscovery of the values of Greek civilization gave impetus to the European Renaissance of 4 centuries ago. Now look, if Esau ruled from Greece to Rome, through the Byzantine Empire, through the Brits, to now, there would be no need for a Renaissance because they would have never stopped ruling.
Right. Boom. Through the dark ages, yeah.
Which proves the 1,000 years of Satan being locked up in Revelation, I believe it was the 21st chapter. All right, or it's the 20th chapter.
20.
It's the 20th chapter. All right, it's Esau, Edom, who we know that Satan in Revelation 12 said Romans is the Satan, the devil, the old serpent. It's them being locked away, out their rulership. Essentially, a lot of them went to Caucasus Mountains. And then Job 30 is the precept, out of prison he shall come to reign. He took back over. There would be no need for a rebirth or renaissance if they ruled that whole time. But that's why they go so hard with the Greek civilization, because they got out the caves, got back in power, and they had to grab something to hold on to build themselves up. What did they have? Greece and Rome. And now they're doing the same thing as the first beast did. When I say the first beast, I mean in Revelation, not the first beast in Daniel. And Daniel was the 4th beast. They're doing the same thing as the Roman Empire all over again, because this is the small horn of Rome, man. This that small horn in the scriptures. They shall build the desolate places, man. They shall build, but I will throw down. Hey, the scriptures, man. Look. This Isaiah 41. This Isaiah 41. There'll be no need for a rebirth if you rule from Greece to Rome to the Eastern Rome and Western Rome. Then you would have been the Brits, and it would be no missing pieces in history. It'll just all be whitewashed. There'll be no renaissance of whiteness needing to come back. You would have to have this thing called the Dark Ages, where all of a sudden nobody did art anymore. Right. Which you know is bullshit because what year was Genghis Khan? They even talk about Genghis Khan's art, how he took that to Iraq and shit, and how the Muslims started to use his artwork and shit. Which that's shortly after. But why is art only come back into play when it's your art? That's because now you have committed active iconoclasm and whitewashing. So how did Genghis Khan have this art form that they brought up and shit? How did all this other shit? Why do you have images of the Madonna before your image and it's black? Right. What about these black coats of arms? Yeah. All right. What before Shalaka? Shalom, brother. All right. I'm gonna have my wife open the door for you. The front door. Just give me a second. I'm gonna text you when I walk in. All right. You was reading something? Or did I just read?
I was going to get that in Revelation 20.
Con.
Yep. It says, Revelation 20:1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven having shit. Even Santa Claus is black when you look up the original Santa Claus. Shit.
Hey, you look at the original, the even Hercules. You look at these original, the artwork. They just want to make it was Esau was all, everything everywhere. There was no blackness because then we'll start knowing that, man, no, we something greater. We're not just missing from the brotherhood of races.
Right.
We are the greatest of the races.
That's right. Chosen seed. And I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
And Revelation 12 refers to the Romans as the same thing. The old serpent, the devil, Satan. 2 Thessalonians, 2nd chapter, tells us about the wicked. All right, who Malachi 1:4 lets know Esau is that wicked. All right, but it tells us what? He shall come after the working of Satan with all signs, powers, and lying wonder. So this is talking about the so-called self-proclaimed white man. You're not white, you're red, and your skin is just translucent. All right, you was tucked away.
And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season.
So 2 Thessalonians tells us what? There was a man that went and deceived the world. Yeah. Same with Isaiah 14. All right? There's a man that did this.
Now, what 1,000 years is that?
Right. So is it coincidence? There's a missing 1,000 years.
Come on, man.
There's a missing 1,000 years in history called the Dark Ages.
Right.
Well, you yourself even lost your connection to your Greek and Roman shit. How would that happen? Why would that happen? Trade and shit was still going on.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, it's reported that the Moors even did some trading over here in the Americas. So why was you at doing that?
That's right. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. So this is him, man, deceiving the nations. He's loose for that little season, right? And a lot of them, they still have our artwork. They still have our pictures. So some of them, they know what's up. Right? But this is what they've put together, man. When you look at science, the scriptures talk about science falsely called so, and this person and prehistory, and man was originally, they'll say that man was originally in Africa. Those are the oldest bones. But then he shifted to another climate up and then turned white. And, you know, all of this stuff where they just lie, man. This is all stuff that was cleverly concocted and has been going over them to chain lie after lie after lie all together. When it never really connected, right? They never really explained why civilization started with the Greeks and Romans. Wait a minute, you said the Earth was millions of years ago old, so it started with the Greeks and Romans. That's what they tell you. They jump around through history. They jump around from Egypt, then they jump to the Greeks and Romans, and then jump around again, and then okay, now you're a slave in America. That's what the average school history textbook is gonna say. Right? Deception.
Mm-hmm. I'm woke, man. It's a scripture in Psalms about like about the earth and the truth. You know what I'm talking about? Elder Malcolm bring it out a lot. I can't think of it. Shalom, brother.
Truth should spring out of the earth.
Yeah, I just could have put the house shoes on. That was by the door.
I don't know. I had.
No, sit. Come sit over here, man.
Sit on the lesson. Come on the lesson. Still alive.
Shalom, brother. No, you good, huh?
I can see this.
Yeah, you can sit in that chair. You can sit on the couch anyway. Don't sit right there.
Psalms 85 and 11. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven.
And that's what time we in, man. The truth is coming out. The real truth. You know, because now we can piece it with the scriptures. And that's what truth is, man. All right. This is oh, it's like that more.
No, that was it.
It's Isaiah 41 and 20. That they may see and know and consider and understand together that the hand of the Lord have done this, and the Holy One of Israel hath created it. Produce your cause, saith the Lord. Bring forth your strong reason, saith the King of Jacob. Let them bring forth and show us what shall happen. Let these things tell us some prophecy. Whatever doctrine or philosophy you're into, give us some prophecy. Let them show the former things what they be, that we may consider them, and know the latter end of them. So come tell us some real history. And why all your historical accounts, why they reference the scriptures? Why does it all go back and prove the scriptures? Because this is where it's at. Or declare us things for to come. Show the things that are to come hereafter, that we may know that ye are gods. Yeah, do good or do evil, that we may be dismayed and behold it together. Behold, ye are nothing. Egyptologists, you're nothing. All right? Esau, whatever. Islam, whatever you into is nothing. And you're a work of naught. And abomination is he that chooseth you, man. So you ain't getting right with this truth by now. You just toast, man. That was really it. You got something else, definitely get it. I ain't saying don't get it.
That was it, man. Hey, the scriptures, this our lives are in pleasant places, man. The scriptures give us all of the major accounts. The scriptures give us these things are written for our learning. We have enough. There's a lot of holes and gaps in history and things that happen. You know what I'm saying? Look, we ain't worried about every single hole and every single event and this and that. And then we went into Africa, but then, we're not worried about all that, man. We have the things that we need for now. The rest, the Lord will give us later.
And the Lord has given us, what is it, Sirach 3? The Lord has revealed more to us than... So this is more than what any other historian can really even come with. You know? It's a wrap. These motherfuckers arguing over Cleopatra. Cleopatra was prophesied in Daniel. Bernice. All that. We know about that, man. That's in the scriptures already. Mm-hmm. That's how specific the Lord get. Specific. Right? Jacob that Oh man, this is the truth, man. I'm damn near take a shot to it, man. I'm just so woo, bro. I think I got to.
I got a scripture.
Hit it.
And this is Proverbs 25:16. As thou found honey, eat so much as it is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therein and vomited. You had made a point earlier. So basically, you know this truth. Hey, the Lord gave us what we need, man. We don't need these other doctrines. We don't need these other philosophies and breakdowns. We don't need that. The Lord thought of everything before He created anything, and that's the power we serve, man. You know, so we don't have to go into all of this bugged out shit. Hey, the Lord gave us what we need, man. All right, and really right now, you know, anyways, we worry about our conduct, you know, because at one point in time, the Lord was dealing with, hey, look, you got to keep the law. But now, it's not only just, it's the law, but it's spiritual, man. You know, because we understand that we can't keep the law in its totality as the letter of the law, all right, but we still believe. But you got people out here they use that as a cloak of maliciousness, man. They be wicked with it, you know? And we not, you know, but we serve the true living power, man. Like I was watching this show, The American Gods, man. It really showed how bugged out Esau really is, man. Yeah. And how these people really believe in these different deities and these different idols, man. Yeah. You know, hey, like the scripture say, all the gods of the nations are idols, man. They fucking idols, man. A true power can't die. That's the point of being a god. How you a god and you can die? You get the fuck out of here. All that Egyptology is madness. This god slept with this god, made this god, made this.
Betrayed this god.
Betrayed this. That shit is fucking madness. If you was truly a god, why would you have war with the other gods? It makes no sense.
If you're truly a god, how do you create anything that can disobey you? Simple. Only Esau movie. See, that's what I'm trying to tell Jake. That AI bullshit. Look, only way that can happen is the Lord take over and control it. Because nothing that's programmed can go against its programmer.
It's not possible.
Free will doesn't exist. They can't give a computer free will to go against them. And I got a lesson on what I'm going to do. It ain't about that, but it's going to touch on that with the conversation I had with AI. And you can tell what it contradicted itself. And it showed that it's programmed to stick to the narrative it's given. Because I trapped it up through the spirit. Mm-hmm. He agreed with me. But then he had to change it. Then he changed his whole tone. Like, bro, it's gonna be wrong when you check it out. You're gonna fuck with it, bro. Like, damn, that's a crazy conversation.
No, I seen a lot of it because some people they get the AI to do shit it ain't supposed to do. No. But it revert back to the programming.
This shit, they got to do what's allowed.
It's like the Siri shit.
Yeah,
you ask certain questions, it won't answer the certain questions. Nope. Siri's, hey, look, man. We got androids. Our phones are androids. They've been had artificial intelligence. You know, like I was explaining to a guy at work. I said I actually like the fact that if I'm talking about something, my phone do the fucking hard lifting for me. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Well, there's no big deal. It's all programmed.
Right, it's all programmed.
They ain't gonna do nothing they ain't programmed to do.
That my point exactly.
Just like we can't. Hey, we started True Living Power. Call on how about you how shine. Lahamalakwa. Y'all got anything else?
I was looking for one. That's forever been without fruit. It's now, you know what I mean?
We read that, 2nd Edge 6.
Oh, yeah, I was looking for
that spirit, 2nd Edge 6. That was not posted on the comment board. All right, well, hey, with that, hope it's edifying. Hey, we started True Living Power, man. This is proof. Because otherwise, why would Esau could have just burned all the Bibles from the beginning, man.
Esau could have been trying to come kill him.
But the Lord, it ain't written that way. So, get the Proverbs 21 and 1 ended on that.
I'm already in Proverbs. This is Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hands of Yahweh, as the rivers of water, he turneth it wheresoever he will.
Plain. So with that, all praise, honor, glory to
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh
Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, Elder Millstone, and shout to the brothers doing this thing in sincerity, in truth, and with charity. Shalom, wa ba ba ba.
Blah, blah, blah.
Esau, you through.